Hi everyone, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks, and today I'm going to be playing the rarest Tier 5 vehicles in the game. So without further ado, let's take a look to see which tanks have been played the least at Tier 5 in the last 30 days on the European server. Wow, it is the KV-222T. Now, I don't have that vehicle, and I think the only way that you could have the KV-222T is if you actually participated in the alpha of World of Tanks. However, there was no alpha of World of Tanks outside of the CIS region. And so I think the only way that you could have the KV-222T is if you were probably Ukrainian, you played in the World of Tanks Alpha on the Russian server at the time, and then you've migrated over here onto the European server. You can have the regular KV-222, that's been sold a lot, but the KV-222T, which stands for test, that's the only way that you could be able to get your hands on that. However, the next vehicle, which has only been played 2 games more than that tank in the last 30 days, I do have, and boy, is it quite a story. It's the M4A2E4. This vehicle is a Tier 5 American premium medium tank that was only available if you played the game for 500 times in the closed beta, which is perfectly possible on the European server. This tank is so rare that it is played, gosh, is that 7 times a day on the European server? So this is one of the only 7 battles on average that there will be an M4A2E4 in it. Absolutely mad when you think about it like that. Now, this vehicle, you might say, how'd you have it, QB? Well, I did play the closed beta, but full disclosure, I didn't actually play 500 games. I played like 300, I think, but not quite 500. And I thought to myself, well, I didn't even really know that. Well, I definitely didn't know that World of Tanks was going to become a big thing. And would I really play 200 games extra just so I had a relatively mediocre vehicle on World of Tanks? No, probably got better things to do back then in 2010, right? Than just slam games inside the closed beta. So then you might be asking, okay, QB, how have you actually managed to get this tank? And the way that I got this tank, bizarrely enough, was actually a bonus code from Wargaming that they gave out at TwitchCon in 2024. I was participating in that. You might remember I went into the game in the Waffenträger game mode as Agent QuickyBaby, and you had an opportunity to get my second commander, who was a little bit jaded, a little bit salty, as if they've been playing World of Tanks a little bit too long, right? I think it's a fun commander. It teases you a lot, and hopefully there'll be another opportunity for you to be able to get your hands on that commander if you didn't the first time. So while I was there, it was so surprising to me. Usually with those bonus codes that they give out at events, it's like a Churchill 3, an Excelsior, some premium time, that kind of stuff. They gave out a vehicle that had not been available since the closed beta and has never been sold on the European server since. Absolutely mad stuff. So incredibly rare. A true collector's gem and an insane exclusive for everyone who went to TwitchCon and visited the Wargaming booth. Now, TwitchCon will be happening again this year. Whether Wargaming are participating and whether Wargaming are actually going to be giving out those codes again is another question altogether. I guess everyone in California will just have to wait and see and let me know is it September or October? I don't know. So, the M4A2E4. This vehicle's so rare that it actually counts as a trophy inside the game as well. Now, I've given out 10 of these over the last year, every time there's some kind of special drops event on my Twitch stream. And I've tried to make sure that I only give them out to people who have played at least 500 games of World of Tanks. The latest person who got one had played 30,000 games of World of Tanks and lots of Shermans at Tier 5. And so it was an absolute pleasure to have flown all the way to San Diego, collect as many of those as I was able to, and then try to get them in the hands of actual hardcore World of Tanks players. I think I've only got a couple more left. We'll have to see when they're going to be going out on Twitch, but don't harass me because only having a couple more left. I'm going to have to space it out because the codes still work for the rest of the year. Yeah, so the M4A2E4, that is why it's so rare. That is how I actually have one. I was amazed that Wargaming, that I could actually get a new vehicle when I went to TwitchCon that year. Absolutely wild stuff. So now that you know why this vehicle is so rare, you know why I have an opportunity to play this tank, you might be wondering, is it actually a good vehicle, Uncle Scrubs? Well, the answer is no, not really. It's not that good of a tank. It's not bad. It's got fairly good alpha for tier 5 at 110, but its penetration is very lackluster, even with the gold. I might struggle to be able to pen this Churchill 1. One thing that is surprising, though, is the lower plate is actually very thick, so you can pull off some miracle bounces. And so, by actually just extending the front out here, it can actually be one of the strongest ways to play the vehicle. I gotta watch out, though, because if this Cavalier goes down, I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. I'm going to try and work within this artillery reload here. We can see the Churchill still managing to get my lower plate. Okay, I might try and side scrape here so I can expose only against the AMRT, but that guy just kills my gunner going right through the front of the turret mantlet with gold there. I'm hoping that this KV-1SA is going to help me right now. I have to start shooting this ARMT, but the Churchill's coming after me now. That's scary as well. Can I drop back? Do I fight out? That's the question, guys. Do I only expose the back of my turret on this Cavalier? Try and maybe track the Churchill as he tries to side scrape round. Hit the AMRT once. Hit the AMRT twice. He's got an autoloader. Oh, this is grim. This is grim, guys. I don't have a choice. Hopefully the AMRT's not reloading. Or is reloading, I say, but he isn't. Okay. Definitely not the best game I've ever had for the M4A2E4. Unfortunately, you saw that this thing, just like the other Shermans at tier 5, doesn't have the hull armor to really side scrape. And unlike the other Shermans, you can't put a 105mm derp gun on this vehicle to really punch above your weight. Nevertheless, we gave it a go. We got ourselves 1,100 combined. And realistically, unless you've got glass cannon tanks sitting out in the open, you get to use your 10 degrees of gun depression. This vehicle is not very strong. Well played to the ARMT for taking me out there with the Churchill support. That slow push they put towards me was just too much. Luckily, they've actually managed to lose the Churchill up on the hill, and maybe my team will be able to take this one down. We'll just have to wait and see. Okay, so we're waiting for that vehicle to come out. Let's take a look to see what the next rarest tank is. So the next rarest tank is actually the Archer. Okay, the Archer. This is a tier 5 British tank destroyer, and it actually is the slowest tank in the game. Probably why it's so rare. People aren't wanting to play it because it's slow. However, it's a little bit of a trick that I'm throwing out there. Because this vehicle, it's only slow forwards, and it's not actually slow backwards. It goes at, I believe, 16 base forwards. Actually, no, not even 16 base forwards. It's going to go way worse than that, because that's also including the turbo that I have. And it goes at about 32 backwards, something like that. I have, like, it's too much to try and even think about these days in World of Tanks with all of the different modifiers. So I've got Engineer, which will increase my top speed forwards by about 1.25. Then I've got the 4 kilometers an hour that I have from the turbo on this tank. So actually, I've got it up on here in Tanks GG now. Oh, this is a horrible map for this tank. The top speed forwards is 12 before you get a turbo, and the reverse speed is 32. We've improved that with the turbo. So 12 becomes 16. Then with Engineer, it becomes 17. So we're literally adding like 50% to our top speed forwards on this vehicle. But it still, in theory, is the slowest tank in the game if you're talking about vehicles driving forwards. But yeah, you don't drive like this in the Archer. That's not how this vehicle plays. What you have to do is actually turn around and drive backwards, and that is a bizarre experience in itself. And now we can see that we're going at a whopping 35 kilometers an hour. Now look, 35 kilometers an hour is still not great, but also imagine being able to draw. How did I get spotted so early? There must be somebody up on that ridgeline while I'm just faffing about trying to show you all about this vehicle. So the turret is fully well, it's locked to the front, so it only has a gun arc of 22.5 degrees to the left and the right, so a 45-degree gun arc. So it's good for kind of like running away from opponents while shooting, but that's really about it. We'll play to that ELC AMX for nearly catching me out, the AMX ELC at the beginning of the battle, for nearly catching me out and causing me a serious headache. I missed the opportunity to get the Panzer III, and I'm getting shot by an ally. That's always nice. The start of the day, right? Getting shot by allies, this is what you want, right? Getting shot by your allies. Come on, Mr. Panzer III, just make a mistake. Drive out, come take a shot from me. Unfortunately, on a map like this, I'm a sniper. This tank, not that bad for sniping, because it actually gets the same gun that's on the Black Prince at tier 7, down at tier 5. Or you could argue it's the same gun that's on the Sherman Firefly at tier 6. So to have it at tier 5, this is a good gun at tier 5. But again, that's all this vehicle has. It has 20 millimeters of armor. Luckily, it has enough view range at 360 that you should be able to spot for yourself with binoculars on this vehicle. It doesn't really have the high alpha 150, so that means that your opponents have to sit in front of it consistently, otherwise you are going to struggle. And that sucks. That undoubtedly sucks, because surely, like tank destroyers, they have to be about those alpha damage hits. If they can't put the damage in their alpha, then you're never truly getting ambushes. And if you're not getting ambushes, you're not really getting very much in World of Tanks. And the gun handling as well. 2.3 seconds aim time is not bad, but it's not great. I actually managed to spot a little bit of that Panzer III. In these kind of games on Runeberg, I think sitting at the back of the map in this vehicle is not the worst plan. One kind of like forgiving thing about this vehicle, however, is the gun depression. 7.5 degrees over the front does actually provide you with quite a lot of flexibility. Hey, looks like my team actually managed to go on to win that M4 game. Wonderful stuff. Okay, yeah, I'm just going to chill, keep waiting, just try and keep my binoculars activated. I think that ricocheted off him. I think I saw it ricochet off the side of the turret. We'll keep going. Ooh, 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 easy M8. There's my kill. Thank you very much. Enemy armor destroyed. First one of the battle. Okay, will we get more? Who knows? But yeah, I think just sitting and chilling in an archer is really all that you can do. You're slow, you've got no armor, get yourself into a position, and apparently you should start camping. The Marder says. Doesn't look like the Marder's a very happy person today. Shoots me. Where does he even drive? Drive off to the front? No, he's calling me an idiot. Well, he is called the Mad Hatter. Wow, look at this. Chris chimes in and says, and all of that from a dead TD. Silly. He's distracting me now. I probably should be focused on maybe shooting things and securing my second kill of the game. But no, I'm getting distracted by that silly sausage. Oh dear. I feel like I'm playing on the NA server right now with so much communication. No jokes though, on the NA server, people are very talkative. I think if the NA server focused on actually shooting sometimes rather than just roasting each other, which is what most of the conversation is, from what I've seen, there might be a few more games that don't end in draws on the NA server. Who are you? What are you saying, Uncle Scrubby Baby? I play on the NA server and there are no draws. Everyone rushes in and it's all super aggressive. Yeah. NA EU meta has been something that has been discussed many times all the way through the years. Personally, for me, I think NA is a little bit more passive, he says, as he camps at the back of the map in a relatively slow game at low tier. Well, you know, as we saw, the Archer doesn't even get played that much in World of Tanks. Only about 15 times a day or something silly like that, wasn't it? So... oh no, a bit more than that, like 100 times a day. So if the Archer's only being played like 100 times a day, I think it was about 5,000 games. About 1,500 games per day. 1,600 being pedantic. That's still quite a lot. A lot more than the Sherman, right? the Sherman, we were saying. No, sorry, 150 times per day. But that's still a lot more than the Sherman, which was 7, right? A lot more. Okay, then. Okay. Can please all report Marder for spam. Why are people mad today? Dude, I'm recording this on a Thursday. I'm trying to get my Golden Dragon Boat missions done before they end. Why are they ending at 10 AM Wargaming? But people are rather unhappy today. People just need to chill out. Sometimes you've got to play a little bit of tank destroyer therapy at the back of the map. Especially where there's an AMX ELC about who will literally just spot me and make fun of me for the entire game. Alright, okay. I think it's time for the Archer to go forwards. because I've been chilling here for 6 minutes, and wow, I instantly get spotted. Oh my lord, that ELC has some amazing view range. For me to be spotted here at the back, he's got to be in those bushes. ELC must be there. Oh. At least I now know where the arty is. SPG is there. I'm trying to think if I have more chance going through the valley, or if... Oh. Maybe it was the PZSFL4C who saw me there. It might not be the AMX. I wonder if I've got more chance going through the town. SU-85 reported. Wow. This guy is so salty. He really is. He's Mad Hatter 55. If he is truly Mad Hatter 55, that does make him a distinguished gentleman of World of Tanks. 70 years old and as mad as a hatter. As mad as a hatter. Good old Alice in Wonderland. I feel like I'm going to have to get myself in Wonderland here if I want to try and actually get through this game. I wish I hadn't taken that artillery shell. Now I'm vulnerable to a one-shot, or the G-Destroyer can actually dump me out in a mag. I believe the G-Destroyer has a... Oh, there's the arty. The G-Destroyer has 75 alpha, of which you can fire 4 times. Yeah, man, I'm starting to really get a vibe as to why this vehicle is not played. Even with a turbo and engineer, it is so slow. Oh my lord, this thing is horrendous. Oh. And it's also a collector's tank. It used to be in the tech tree. It used to lead on towards the the British turreted tank destroyers. These days, that is not the case. I'm going to switch to a gold round here for the Matilda. Kind of overkill, but that's what life is about, overkill, right? No Matilda there. So unbelievably slow, actually. So unbelievably slow. I feel like I'm a heavy tank, and it almost feels even slower because I'm going backwards. And now, like what? Now, there's that G-Destroyer that I talked about. I had to do like a 180 to be able to get my gun into a position to shoot the guy. Unless I want to drive around at like 14 kilometers an hour. Well, to be fair, with a turbo, it's more like 17, as I said. I don't really want to drive around at 17 kilometers an hour forwards. That's like old school T95, man. Well, we've got the G-Destroyer out with a bit of spotting. I'm just going to have to boldly rush the enemy team and pray that they suck. I got spotted by the ELC. Clearly the ELC is on the mid-ridge. Let's turn this tank around. Oh, drive towards him very slowly because I can't really reverse at him now, can I? Is he going to come after me here? Uh-oh. Hopefully he misses. Low roll. Oh, low roll fire. That's what I like to see. Good stuff. Well, I got a kill. Ye gods. Ye gods. I mean, this thing's probably not like the worst tank if you end up on a... Oh, should go after that Matilda? Probably should. Why doesn't the ELC shoot me? He's got 240 alpha. Why doesn't he just get the ambush off on me already? There you go. Fine. Put me out of my bloody misery, will you? Okay, ELC is here. ELC is there. Right there. Right there. Maybe more a bit over there. Good stuff. I'm just going to keep pinging the map. Let my team know. He's right there. Keep guiding the moths towards the flame. Are we going to see the mother of all Kolobanov's medals? That would be painful. I think this T-28 is just going to run him down. Oh, he got a shot in. There he is! Can you believe he was shooting from there and didn't get spotted? Hey, GG. Alright, so that was the second rarest. Now let's play the third rarest. Oh god, what is this? A G1R. Ugh. What is a G1R even? I think that's a tier 5 French medium. Ah, it's the Renault G1, the G1R, with the R standing for Renault, right? So, the Renault G1. Is this thing the best thing you're ever going to play at tier 5? Why is it so rare? So we actually finished 4th on experience there, frustratingly, considering I'm trying to get my mission done, and 5th on experience here, frustratingly, considering I'm trying to get my mission done. I need to finish top 3 if I want to get a crew book. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it anymore. But yeah, 2 wins. I'll take 2 wins. So the G1R, is this a good vehicle? Whoa, it's a tank I've never aced before. So again, this is a collector's edition. This is not the BDR, by the way. So there are two guns that you could use on this vehicle, the 75mm and the 105. I'm going to use the 105 because I'm filthy. But the 75mm is the one that you could probably get away with without so much gold. So it looks like a BDR, but do not confuse this thing with a BDR. The BDR is probably one of the more popular tanks at tier 5. The Renault G1R used to be, I think it was an optional way through the tech tree, or maybe it was the way to be able to go through the tech tree for medium tanks. It's really hard to... a lot of these vehicles, they're rare now because you don't even have to be able to go up the tech tree. So I think previously... when you were going up the tech tree, you had an option of, I don't know if it was even towards the heavies or if it was towards the mediums, but I think you had like an optional tech tree of going along here towards the AMX T, I believe, back in the day. And this is where these vehicles were situated, because originally the Batchat 12T led on towards 3 tanks, including the AMX 30B. But I believe this vehicle... well, it's definitely been removed from the tech tree and put in towards the collectors. So, is this vehicle any good? It's exceedingly rare inside the game, but is it good at World of Tanks? Well, with the 105mm derp, it probably could be a little bit brutal. As long as you're able to pen with its 104mm of heat, you can do some devastating damage. 350 alpha. A little bit of, seeing how this is, we're talking about a lot of tanks from World of Tanks past, which obviously the rarest vehicles would be. A little bit of history behind these derp guns on these tanks. Did you know back in the day, these derp guns actually had 50% more heat penetration? That's why they were considered to be so disgusting and amazing for being seal clubbers and pay to win and all of this. Back in the day, the 105mm, including the ones on the Sherman, the Panzer IV, and I guess it wouldn't have been on this vehicle initially, because this vehicle wasn't in the game back when the guns did have 150 pen. But imagine having 150 pen and 350 alpha damage. It was absolutely diabolical. So this tank's got 8 degrees of gun depression, so I should be able to do some dirty stuff here. I'm not going to pen the Zadimka. Oh, that was so silly. I should have never really exposed myself to that Zadimka like that. For some reason, I thought, I've got 350 alpha, I should expose myself. But I just ended up taking it from that French tank destroyer. Oh no! It's a KV-222, but at least it's not a KV-222T. That would be nasty, wouldn't it? I've really got to watch out here. I wanted to get on this ridge line, but feeling nervous about it. The bathtub next to me is showing me up, making me look like a terrible World of Tanks player. And to be fair, after that exposure against the Zadimka, it really was. Wow, talk about a weak point. More like having almost an extra little tank on top of the vehicle. Okay, I'm thinking about making my way towards the middle, as he says, as the KV-222 nearly gets me there. So the KV-222 has a horrible turret, but an amazing hull. I think I should be able to pen his turret if he's aiming at other people. He says... Maybe the back of the turret I can pen? Whoa, that thing was fast. I can't believe there's effectively a KV-3 driving around in this game. Absolutely mad. Absolutely mad. I don't think there's really too much that I can do against that. I probably should have taken this tank to fight the mediums. I don't think this vehicle just has enough penetration here to be able to deal with these guys. Is the KV-222 just going to go on? He is. Alright, I might be able to get one ambush shot off, but then I have to fall back. It's as simple as that. Try and keep my artillery firing a little bit longer. Try and get one ambush shot into this KV. Oh, I didn't see the rock behind the fern there. My bad. Oof. Definitely not my finest game of World of Tanks so far. Alright, let's try and get up this slope as quick as I can. There's a nice little fallback position that I can use if I'm able to get there. I'm actually going to have to swing down left to go around here. KV-222 is going to be up there in a second. Driving up that slope was going to take a little bit too long. Okay. Nice! First good shot of the game. Or is that KV-1 going to get hit by my arty? I truly hope so. I should be able to outspot them here in this bush. Okay, cool. Just keep driving. What's this Churchill doing? Will anyone help me here? Looks like I might have to help myself. Maybe not. Oh, no, 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 not like this, not like this, not like this. No, I can't believe I get caught. Why couldn't they kill the Churchill quicker? Good kill by the KV-1. So unfair, guys. I was going to just chill in this position. I probably should have just held there, in all honesty. I probably should have just held. I was really hoping that maybe like these 5 tanks on my team would have been able to kill that Churchill a little bit quicker. But yeah, I think in retrospect, I probably should have just held and taken the damage from the Churchill. But I think that KV-1 could have still got me anyway. So all of this comes down to that misplay at the start of the game where I just lost those hit points. It's a disappointing round for me, I'm not going to lie. And I didn't really manage to make this tier 5 French medium work that well in this game. Oh well, ugly stuff. Okay, let's play our 4th game of the day. And the next rarest vehicle is the M4 Improved. M4 Improved. Wow, this is a good example of wargaming just dumping in premium tanks at low tier back in the day. The M4 Improved, bold name, right? Bold strategy to release one of the most popular tanks inside the game and just call it Improved, right? Now, is it improved? Well, in a weird way, I guess it is. It does have improved hull armor, there's no doubt. It kind of looks like a lot like a T1 Heavy, right? I think the M4 Improved is one of those tanks that you don't really want to own. I guess there could be like an argument to want to play it if you were maybe trying to get some of the battle pass done. That's something that a lot of players try and do. You know that I recommended that you consider getting the low tier premiums from Twitch drops, for example, so you can be able to accelerate your progress through some of the stages of the battle pass. Especially if there's going to be a bonus battle pass chapter like there has been each season before. But yeah, the M4 Improved. What a weird armor shape. I mean, it makes sense, right? Imagine that. You're sitting in the front. Wonderful ricochet opportunities. The tank does make sense from that perspective. The only problem with the M4 Improved is that it's still an M4 at tier 5. And 50mm of armor only goes so far, even if it is well angled. But yeah, at least from the front, decent stuff, right? Penetration-wise on this tank, you've got 92 and 127. So it looks like it's got an identical gun to the first tank that I played today. That ultra-rare Sherman, the premium Sherman that we played. I can't believe more people aren't playing this, but I guess it's just because of the penetration. It's quite interesting that all of the vehicles that I've played today that are unpopular have had relatively low alpha damage and poor penetration. Well, obviously the first tank that I played was rare because of its circumstance. But the Archer, I guess, slow because of its just uncomfortable speed. The BDR, probably because it's not the heavy tank that people could play. It looks like it's just a budget version of the heavy tank there. And not satisfying like the 240 alpha damage you can have on the heavy tank. Anyway, let's get our M4 Improved forwards, and we'll see if we're able to help this. Is it Harry Hopkins? Forwards. Try and get some vision. Try and get some vision. I don't have vision system or coated optics here though, so I've got to be careful. The M5A1 Stuart is a scary tank. That is a terrifying tier 4 light tank that we're going to have to deal with. Well, if I don't get... Oh, there he is. There he is. Would love it if my team deals with him. I might take a chance. Just get a little bit of damage into him and then fall back. 90 damage? How do... Oh, it probably wasn't even worth it. Honestly, guys. It probably wasn't even worth it, I'd say. We need somebody to get that Stuart. Maybe I should have gone towards the middle of this map. Maybe I should have gone towards the middle of this map. I'm looking at this thing's camera rating and it's 8 base while moving. Which is not the worst that you'll ever have. I think if I'd gone towards the middle of this map, I would have probably been a little bit safer and more effective. But would I have had the opportunity to be more progressive? No. Little cruiser. Miss. It can fully aim between its shots, but boy, 0.44 accuracy on this tank? No thank you, ma'am. 0.44 accuracy, my guys. Not what you want. To be fair, 3 out of the 4 vehicles that I've played so far today have been horrendously inaccurate. Horrendously inaccurate, he says. Oh, hello, Chihi. How you doing? Oh my lord, that shell velocity as well. 600 meters a second. It's starting to dawn on me why nobody wants to play this vehicle. Bad gun. Inaccurate gun. It's got DPM though and frontal armor, I guess. Spotted the Chihi again. 10 degrees of gun depression on this thing as well. Oh, he's got a damaged engine. And a dead driver. And the garage. Do you think the Stuart will come back for me? Nope. Oh. By the way, don't sit here firing in your tanks above tier 5. Oh, how did I miss that? Good shot, good kill. Okay, let's go on towards the Harry Hopkins. He might not handle his fight against the Cruiser 4. He might do, he might not. We'll see. I like that train random event. It's a bit of fun, but doesn't really change the gameplay very much, right? I wonder if Wargaming were thinking people would have used that as a shield to be able to cross. Maybe. Should I stop and shoot the KV-1 and the Matilda? Or should I just shoot them on the move?
Ready to fire. Target lost. We've hit them, but we didn't penetrate their armor. Target acquired. Ready to fire.
Alright, let's just load gold and go after this guy. I'll fire the first one through the rubble. He is still there. He's just behind some stuff.
Enemy armor is hit.
Lots of cover he's behind, actually. Alright, we're actually penning this KV-1 here. I won't be spotting for myself, so I'll be getting half experience, but that's okay.
But didn't penetrate their armor.
Whoa, I said that the train didn't do much, but maybe it's going to provide me some cover against this KV-1 right now. I can't pen this guy. Not good angles. Let's go after this Su-85. Do I need gold for this Su-85? Maybe. I spotted something else. Oh, another Churchill come to haunt me. Oh, I've actually got the back of that KV-1 now. Should be able to get that. He says. As he ricochets, is that Churchill coming for me? I'm going to try and keep an eye on the Churchill. Not quite a kill. There won't be a kill there. Gosh, the KV-1 is a thick boy, isn't it? I was hoping that we could get rid of that KV-1. This game's very close. I don't really want to just drive up in front of an Su-85 and a Churchill. I should probably keep aiming at this KV-1 in case he's going to come after me. Alright, the Churchill actually turned and went after our Harry Hopkins, so maybe I can find the Su-85 instead. Oh, he got me good. I got him good, though. And my artillery got him very good. Alright, okay, so do you think the Churchill's going to come up that slope, or do you think he's going to go down this slope? If I can get the Valentine AT with me, I should be okay. My advantage is that I have better camo and better view range, most likely, than the Churchill does. His advantage is that he is probably advancing along those bushes, if I get outspotted there. Unless there's a Hetzer up there. I very much doubt there's a Hetzer up there. Oh, watch out for that. Don't shoot me, Valentine AT. What's up with tank destroyers on my team? Oh, that Hetzer's got awful view range. He'll never see me here. Looks like the random event happened in the center of the map. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to fight a full health Churchill. I'll just let him lumber around and do his thing. I still don't think that Hetzer will see me, but the Matilda definitely will. If I get spotted, the Churchill's most likely going to shoot me. I'm just going to make my way towards the middle. Tell this M4A1 that I'm going to help them. I think I should flank the Hetzer first. He's the most dangerous tank here. Yeah. Just give me a second. Actually, I could be able to just mound my way up over here, and then I'll be above my opponents. Still going to shoot that Hetzer out. Got him once. Got him twice. if the Hetzer turned around. He has. Oh, this is awkward. I've got a Leffe shooting at me and a Hetzer in the front. Okay, let's keep moving. Drive towards the Leffe. Make his angles awkward, hopefully. Oh, that's not very awkward. Alright, well, I went in and got a couple of kills. But I don't know how I'm ever going to dig out the Leffe right now. I've got a full health Churchill to handle somehow. I wonder if the Churchill's just going to drive in towards the middle of the map. Darn, if that Leffe hadn't hit me twice, that would have been a fairly good double kill there. But, losing those hit points that Leffe have made this really awkward. Really awkward. Okay, so I think my plan has to be right now to try and spot the Churchill and get my artillery working while they're still alive. I'm trying to think about where the Churchill would be right now. I'm like a 2-shot for the Churchill, but it fires every 2 seconds. So what's the difference between being a 1-shot and a 2-shot when somebody's got such a good reload, right? The Valentine 80. Oh, why are you here? Oh, no, and the Leffe's gonna get me now. How can I get out of this? I've got to try and hope that these bushes cover my retreat here. No, I'm dead. So dead. Oh, I'm so frustrated. Why did that Churchill have to appear there? Why did the Valentine AT not hold the position? Oh, it's a frustrating day of World of Tanks for me. This has been a frustrating video, I'm not going to lie, boys and girls. So much opportunity to possibly have heroics. I felt like I had to go up here because why would the Valentine AT be in this area? The Churchill must have literally just gone along while the Valentine AT went down the slope and then snuck up. Well, yeah. Good luck to my PZSFL here. He might be able to outspot the Churchill. Who knows? Maybe. Maybe the artillery gets going here. But I think that this is probably going to end up being a draw, or that Leffe is going to be able to handle the spots at the end. Nevertheless, 3 kills and 2,600 combined is not a bad game for a tier 5. Still super frustrated that I end up getting caught out by that Churchill there, but that's life. Anyway, ladies and gents, boys and girls, those were 4 of the rarest tanks you'll ever see in World of Tanks, including one that's practically unplayable unless you're willing to go to TwitchCon at least last year, so I hope you got a time machine there. So we actually ended up with an ace tanker high caliber in that game, and what's even more frustrating is that the P2640 was AFK and the PZSFL 4B had fired 11 shots and not hit anything and traveled 500 meters. So if we'd only not got caught by that Churchill, oh, it was a frustrating day, but at least a little bit of an ace for a condolence prize. Still feel like a big loser though, but that is probably why some of these tanks are the rarest. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down, and let me know what tanks you are surprised didn't make it onto this rarest list. And as always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.